RFM Marketing Automation. In this video, we'll discuss how to set up and analyze the results of our RFM Marketing Automation module. To access it, first we'll have to go to the Automation Processes panel. Then, from the top menu, select RFM Marketing Automation. If we want to create a new panel, we'll have to click on RFM Marketing Automation and then go through the creator. First are the basic settings. From the top, we'll have to select the name of our panel. Select the starting date from when it will be analyzing our data. Which transactions or external events will acknowledge in the analysis. The choices between purchase, visit, and cart events. Which contacts we want to analyze based on whether the contacts have any of the following tags. All of them, or if the contact is in a specific stage in a sales funnel. Also, we have to select the specific currency we'll be using in this panel. Next, we'll need to set up the recency settings. First, we have to select the units of time we'll be using in the matrix itself, whether it's months or days, as well as how much time will be analyzed since the last purchase for each contact. In a frequency setting, we'll select the maximum amount of purchases per one contact. This way, we will understand how many purchases can be considered as a large amount for your specific type of business. After selecting the time range and a frequency range of purchases, we can proceed to the next step to configure the monetary settings. First, we'll have to set up the maximum amount of value that a purchase can have. Select the time range. In order to see how each segment will look, what will be considered a saver or a spender, as well as which contacts will fall in the medium category. Let's take a look at a pre-made RFM panel. Starting from the top, we have our recency chart. First, we can see on the pie chart on the left-hand side how many contacts fall in each specific segment. On the right-hand side, we can see the amount of contacts progression between each segment throughout the time frame we have selected. In the segment statistics, we can see more in-depth information about each specific segment. The amount of transactions, the average value of each transaction, and the total income from that specific segment. The same format can be repeated for the frequency and monetary graphs. The breakdown of how many users each segment has, the segment statistics for each segment in depth, and the graph showing the progression. On the matrix itself, we can see a breakdown of each category with two of each dimensions on an axis. The first graph is recency versus frequency. This will allow us to view how many contacts are in different subgroups. For example, on the bottom left, we have users that have been with the site for a short amount of time and are casual spenders. Likewise, on a recency monetary graph, in the second column on the top row, we have spenders that have been here moderately long. And another example, on the bottom right, for frequency and monetary graph, we can view casual spenders that spend a low amount of money per purchase. Each particular block has two buttons. The first allows us to view the contacts that each segment has. The second button allows us to execute an action specifically to this block of users. We have 8 actions to choose from. First is to send an email, a static email from an email list that is available, allowing us to pick a specific date at which it will be sent, along with an option to send an email to each user to their preferred activity, time, and day. The next action available is to add a tag. This option will allow us to add one or multiple tags to all of the users in this specific block. Next option is to run an automation rule from an automation rule list to all the contacts. We can choose to run the rule immediately or 15 minutes from the time of executing the action. Next action is to add all contacts to a specific stage in the funnel. After that, we can choose to send a text message to all the contacts in this segment. Keep in mind, the contacts will still have to have an opt-in status and a phone number in order to receive the text message. We can choose from one of the pre-made text messages, specify a day and time of sending, and edit the from and text fields for the message itself. The next action is to either create a new custom audience or assign all these contacts to an existing custom audience. The last option is to send a web push notification to all the contacts from that block. And here we'll be greeted by a small miniature web push creator. As in other creators, we'll be able to select the web push's name, select which form the contact will have to agree to in order to receive the web push in the first place, select whether we're sending a normal web push, a rich web push, or both, implying that if a user is using a device that is not compatible with the rich web pushes, they will receive a simpler web push instead. The following are the fields that will be displayed on the web push itself: the title, respectively, content, the notification icon on the top left of the web push, the notification image for the rich web push, the URL the user will be redirected to when they click on a web push, the precise date and time where we want to send the web push, its lifespan, or how long the web push will be valid and visible, as well as add an ability to track the web push by Google Analytics. To learn more, you can visit our support page at support.salesmanago.com.